Okay, people, today we are gonna do something kinda rare, kinda fun. We're gonna do a tier list, but it's not just any tier list, it's a tier list of albums made by me or close friends, or in one case by my brother. So, yes, um, so I have placed these in chronological order, at least I believe it is. Uh, and Yeah, I'll try to explain why I put them where I put them, and I'll try to be fair. Remember that my own albums are on here, so maybe little bit biased, but I'm gonna try my best. Okay, so we start from the left here with the first number, which is my first release and the first release of all of these, unless Cumrain maybe came before, but we'll come to that. So this is it came in 2017, and it has 6 tracks, and all in all, this is 6 minutes total, and yet I call it an EP, which is, kinda unfair. But this is a mess because the order of the tracks and which tracks are even on it isn't consistent. There are I have changed the order several times. I've deleted tracks, I've put in new tracks, so it's a total mess. Overall though, this is not good at all. The Of these tracks, this is good, this is funny but bad, this is this one only real good one, the others are cringe, and the deleted tracks are also cringe. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun first attempt and it has one great track, but overall this is not very good. This is bad, but it's not unlistenable, but it is bad. Next up we have Cumrain. Cumrain is made by this guy Aron, also known as Beelzebubby, and many other names. He was also a member of Yanking Jengas, which we will come to. So Cumrain doesn't exist. It's lost media. You literally can't find Cumrain. Cumrain was, I think he called it an album that he made. I think it was hip hop tracks. And I don't remember much of it because I think most of it was bad. But I remember one track. It was actually illegal content. I mean, of course, it's not illegal because freedom of speech, but what he rapped about was seriously problematic. It's funny to think back at, and he was very young himself, so it wasn't that bad, but it's still not good. Cumrain. Also, this cover art here, I reproduced it just before this video. It's not the original one, but it's pretty accurate. Next up, we have another lost media, a Wankers philosophy, also by Beelzebubby. The only traces left of this are this video here that is made by Bob on his DJ Gunilla channel, where he talks about this album, calls it Album of the Year, and this album is I guess it's a bit of a mixed bag. If I remember correctly, it was 12 minutes long, and it had some comedy skits, and it had a few tracks. Here's the thing: none of the tracks memorable except 2 of them. One of them, Gangbang Anthem, true banger, and it's gonna bring up this album quite a bit from where it otherwise would have been. And another track, I'm White, which is not very good, but it has a very funny part. So yeah, I mean, I could put it in D, but Gangbang Anthem really brings it up, so this is a solid C tier. Next up, Autistic dance music, which wait, I'll just find it. So Autistic dance music is the first release by Bob Tha Slaya, and it's an EP. It has 6 tracks. Pretty much all of them are diss tracks on me, like actually, you know, bullying me. And I mean, that's fine. It's funny. Don't worry about it. But the problem is, out of these 6 tracks, the only like good ones are this one, because it's someone is trying to call me on Discord. I'm just going to not answer, and also put on don't disturb button. So now that's done. Yeah, I was gonna say, great tracks here. We Are Down is super catchy, actual banger. Take a listen when you want to. I don't know. It's great. I Love Dubstep for Fuck's Sake is a reference to a track from First Number, my first EP, which was called I Hate Dubstep for Fuck's Sake, and both of them are made like entirely of GarageBand loops, and you know, it's a funny diss. It's not a good song, but it's a funny diss, and I appreciate it. And he also like has like a dog barking as the drop sound, which is kind of funny. Also, outro sounds surprisingly nice. So yeah, 3 nice tracks. The other 3, yeah, they're very bad, I'd say. I mean, Artistic Autism is okay. It has some interesting stuff, but the other ones are just, you know, weird sounds for the sake of being, you know, weird. And I get it's the point because it's called artistic autism and autistic dance music, and it's a diss on me. However, music, half of the music is bad, so I would put this on like on the level of First Number. It's a fun first EP, but it's not good. So next up, Bob's first real album, Great Elephant Slaya. And this one, actually like 25 minutes. I mean, very short for an album, but still almost full album length. And as you see, it has 10 tracks, and this is a huge step up from everything before. Because remember, this would be a D if it wasn't for having one funny track. But there's a lot of fun here. Slaya of Slaya's really catchy intro track, Great Trunk, probably the best, one of the best tracks on the album. Same goes for Faron, Elephant Leader, and Death of Faron. The stuff in between, it's a mixed bag. The thing about this album is it has really catchy guitar riffs, but the vocal performances are, I mean, I guess it's intentional, but they are not great. I mean, they are like intentionally like funny, I guess, but not great all around. But some of them are very funny in the delivery, like Fallen Elephant Leader and Grey Trunk. And I mean, not horrible, but the recording quality not great. And some of the tracks here are like nothing special. Like no Spread is funny because it's about an inside joke, so you know it's fun to listen to. But the song itself, nothing special. I'm sorry. Big and Harry, it's okay, but it just sounds like a folk song, except the lyrics are like about being big and hairy, which is funny. Grand Wizard, which is, you get what it's about. One interesting thing here is Ogre, which is a song that was written for a songwriting festival, and I was actually the singer for the original version. And obviously, because of that, I have to say this album version isn't as great as the original version. But that's not to say the singing here is bad. He does his own take on it, and it's a faster version, more energetic. The guitar solo might be better than the original, but overall I prefer the original. So Alpha, also one of these, you know, funny lyrics, execution. It's pretty good. Like none of these are bad. It's just like not great. Same goes for High Again. Funny concept, but it just kind of follows a formula. However, Slaya of Slaya's, Great Trunk, Foreign Elephant Leader, Death of Foreign, better than anything that came on any albums before, except for Gangbang Anthem by Aron, because that one's really good. I might have sounded harsh here, I actually enjoyed this album. I've listened to it several times. As you see, I reposted and liked it. So yeah, despite all the hate I just might have said, I enjoy this. I think it's pretty good actually. Yeah, not bad at all. Next up, Death of Two Legends by my brother Alexander. And here we have his album Death of Two Legends. So this was made in like 2 days, and I was like with him for most of the time when he made it. So this has 12 tracks, 21 minutes, so still pretty short. I mean, very short for an album, but it's 12 tracks, and this is just a really, really fun album. The album art here is made by Aaron, so that's fun. So this album, Great Elephant Slayer, started a bit of a concept regarding the character Faron, which is an elephant. And this album is a bit of a continuation, Death of Two Legends. It's about Ogre, you know, the ogre from the track Ogre by Bob, and Faron. So this is like a sequel by another artist, which is a very interesting way to do things. So the system is broken. It's a, you know, pretty experimental intro. It's okay. Faron is our god. I don't understand how this track exists. It's like actually shoegaze, but he had never listened to shoegaze when he made this. He just like made Loveless by My Bloody Valentine Part 2, which is insane. For Bob, fun little joke track. Ogre. So this is his take on the track Ogre that Bob wrote. And this one is interesting because this one has like racial slurs in it. It had improvised lyrics, so I guess it just slipped out. But you know, this is a channel about acceptance and being nice, so it's a bit of a problem. But not a huge deal. It's a fun take, otherwise his vocal performance here is really funny. Same goes for the rest of the album. Uses a lot of auto-tune, fun singing. Bass is just loud ear rape bass. I guess it's fun. Before the Tragedies, probably like the best track on here. It has several good guitar riffs. Just overall well executed. A banger. It's a banger. Faron's Death, also a banger. Fuck You Mr. Spoon, a diss track on Mr. Spoon, who is this spoon that killed Faron. And Blue Boy, this droplet, killed Ogre. So that's why this is called Blue Boy Killed Ogre, and this is Fuck You Mr. Spoon, because they both died. This is a really aggressive rap song, very funny. Relax, a bit of an interlude thing. Blue Boy Killed Ogre is just like him crying because Ogre is dead. Why? Another interlude. And then finally, Funeral of Ogre and Faron, which is like emotional singing, really good finale. Overall, this is like a concept album he did in 2 days, which is very impressive. There are several bangers on this thing. You know, the production is pretty flat. And some of the tracks here are not very interesting and are like just, you know, short ideas, not very well developed. But overall, this is, I'd say it's slightly better than Great Elephant Slayer, but they're pretty much equal. Next, Yank I, and this is where we get to some really great stuff. So Yank I, first album by great band Yanking Jengas, members being me, Aaron, and my brother Alexander, who did the album I just talked about. So this is like actually like a full 35-minute album, which is like acceptable length to call an album. 12 tracks. First one, nice intro. Well, I'm not gonna go track by track right now, but what I will say first of all is this album is like a very mixed bag, and like it mixes a lot of genres. It's not very consistent at all, but it's a very fun album, and it works with the title, which is Yank I. The band we had when we made it, Yanking Jengas, so this was basically just gonna be the first, you know, collection of Yanks. So like general yanking, I guess. So we have, you know, a punk rock track here after the intro, another punk rock track here made by Alexander. Hikikomori, very cringe track written by me, kind of a ballad thing. I mean, it's like probably the most basic song I've written, and it's okay. Like it's not bad actually, but I just think it's kind of cringe to go back and listen to. My vocals here are not very good. Straight white male. This one has very many offensive slurs and stuff like that, even said by me. But I don't think we should, you know, cancel me because of that, because you know the title is literally straight white male, so I think it should be pretty obvious. It's satire. Elephant interlude, nice interlude to split things up, and then we have this. We're Now Far On, which is like a really catchy, like indie pop rock track. This is just a short thing. Nancy, a great ballad written by Aron. Great might be taking too far. It's great for a few minutes, but it's like 7 minutes long, and it's the same thing over and over. But you know, the further he goes, the louder he sings, and you know, it makes for a funny track, so I like it. Ductus, track mainly written by me. It's like an attempt at prog metal, not very successful, I would say. It's a pretty catchy track, but it's a bit all over the place, and it just sounds kind of bad. It clips in the sound mix a few places. Bruh, fantastic like outro, and Aron's Hop is like a bonus track, which is, it sounds more like a Beelzebubby track, which is the name, you know, Aron used for his album Cumrain, and at least I think he used it for Cumrain, but he did use it for a Wankers Philosophy. So overall, it might sound like I was very mixed on these tracks, you know. Many of them are like 7 out of 10 content. But overall, you know, just listening to this, it's so much variation. It's like ideas by 3 different people, so it's, you know, it doesn't get boring to listen to, and it has some like actual bangers, like, you know, Thunder of Punk, Straight White Male, Where Are You Now Far On, and Bruh. And you know, I'm very happy with this. The album art, again by Aron, I think looks really nice. I mean, it's like ugly in a way, but it works. Yeah, so this it's a B or an A. I mean, in terms of enjoyment, it's easily an A, but I think there's just too much wrong with it, so I'll put it in a B for now. Next up, we have the second number, which, if you couldn't guess, is the sequel to the first number. And this one is 18 minutes, so very short for an album, but it's just 10 tracks, so I'll count it as one. So this is the first album I made. I did it in a lot of cooperation with Alexander, and this one has vocals by Bob, and this one has spoken parts by other friends. The intro has spoken parts by Alexander. Alexander plays guitar on several tracks. He pretty much wrote this Smooth and Soothe track. I had nothing to do with it pretty much. This one is mixed. It's definitely better than first number, no doubt. I would say intro, Aspi has awoken, also Sprach Aspi, everything up until here I'm very happy with. Best things I had written up to that point, I'd say, except for maybe one track on first number. And then Aspi or Don't Be, though being like, you know, me stealing Evangelion background music and just talking on top of it with like added guitars and stuff, it works as an outro. It's pretty fun. It has very cringe voice acting by me, which, you know, I don't like listening to, but it's a fun idea. So yeah, the huge problem with this album is that, you know, these 3 tracks, you might think, oh, it's just 3 tracks on a 10-track album. Does it matter if they're bad? Here's the problem. They're not bad even. They're like decent. They're like solid. But they're like literally filler. Me and My Wall Guitar. It's something that I and Alexander wrote one time, but we didn't do anything with. So for this one, when I wanted to take up more space in the album, I just said, throw it in. Iggan's Anthem, a new version of a song I wrote for one of my YouTube channels. This one, an English version. The original was in Swedish and with added instrumentation. So it's a better version. That's fine, but it's still like specifically an older track that I reused to fill space. Took this, literally copy-pasted from Yank 1, because Yank 1 at that point had been removed from streaming services by the devil himself, Aaron, who took it down from Spotify and shit. And that's not okay, but whatever. So the thing is, these 3 tracks take up 10 minutes on an 18-minute album. You know, you already expect an 18-minute album to be very tight, no filler, but not only does it have filler, more than half the album is filler. If we just cut this out, then I'm very happy with what I managed to do with these other tracks, with the help of Alexander too. But all that filler, it's just, it brings it down. It really does. That might seem high considering how much I just hated on that, but I still like the other stuff. And like I said, the filler tracks are like actually pretty good. It's just the fact that their filler is annoying. So next up, the direct sequel, which came in the same year, the third number, which has just 8 tracks, but it's 21 minutes, slightly longer, and it has 0 filler. Actually, not true. It has 1 filler track, this one. But overall, this is no doubt the best thing I had made up until that point. I'm actually gonna say this is the best thing that any of us had made up until then. Freed from the Chains, really fun opening track. It has vocals from me and Bob. It was co-written by, I think Bob helped. It has a rap verse by Aaron. So this track like actually has work from all 4 people who have albums on this list. So I guess this is like actually the album that got the most of us on it. Il Piscio 2 had a guitar part by Bob, and he was there when we mixed in the studio and stuff. Freed from the Chains, like I said, filler track, because it's like a 3-part song, and this one is just reusing like the melody from this one and doing like an orchestral piano thing, and it's just boring to listen to. It's too long. It's just like maybe 1.5 minutes, but it just doesn't do much with the concept. Very boring track. However, Krossa en apa means crush a monkey. Fucking banger. Actually, like probably the best track I've written. Like, like the main hook was actually made up by Alexander. So I'm not gonna take all the credit, but you know I'm responsible for the music to it, I guess. Krossa en apa like slaps super hard. Real banger, like actually amazing. Wind Up Bird, based on Wind Up Bird Chronicle book by Haruki Murakami, and it's basically just an ambient track that like has stuff relating to that, and it's fine. It's a closer. No, these 2 together are the closest to a filler thing here, because this one is just looping a cool drum thing, I guess, and like some sounds on top of it. It's like, it sounds cool, but it took so little effort that I can't be proud about it. Returning to the Mind starts with guitar thing that was made by a friend who just recorded it, and I said, let me use that for the album, that sounds really cool, so I did. And the other half of it is, you know, reversing the entire album back to the beginning, and that might sound like filler, but it also has like all cut parts from the album that didn't make it on, just like playing on top. So it's a great way to go to the finale here, which is another nice intro, just like on the second number. No, outro. So the second number is about like me having Asperger's, and then at the end I'm cured from the Asperger's. And this one is about being cured, but then realizing that it's weird to be cured from the Asperger, so I go back to being Aspie creature. Overall, I really like this. I'm happy with how this turned out. I guess it has like 3 tracks that aren't very interesting, but Klosenapa, Il Piscio, Freed from the Chains really make for a great impact. So yeah, A tier. And if this is allowed to be A tier, I'm going to put Yank 1 up here too, because they're pretty much equal, I'd say. Maybe. Yeah, I think third number is better, but Yank 1 is more fun to listen to, I'd say. Next up, so it says Sicut Canis, which is Latin for like a dog, and this is actually Bob's alternate account. Here it is. So this is just like a greatest hits album, actually. Greatest hits songs about the Felix dogs and the lovely gays. So it's, you know, not very cohesive because these are tracks that were made in beforehand. But I do want to talk about this Sicut Canis project because it has good songs and it's worth bringing up. And you know, it makes for a almost 25-minute project, which is longer than a lot of stuff I have put on here, so I think it's fair. So the main thing here is that Stabbed in the Back is probably the best track that Bob has made. Maybe we'll get to that on Yank III, because that has really good stuff. But Stabbed in the Back is really, really good. Actually great track, really catchy, really interesting, actually great. Epic, just short little thing, nothing special. 15 Hours, also a good track. Escape from the Center, good, except it's so low audio quality that it, like, you can't hear it, so that's a problem actually. Ditch. This one I really like because it sounds like something that the Pillows, you know, Japanese rock band famous for having their music in famous anime Fooly Cooly or FLCL, and it's really nice. I don't think he has heard anything by the Pillows, so it's not inspired probably, but it gives me the same vibe and I like that. Like a Dog, like Stabbed in the Back, really good track, not as great but really nice, catchy all around. Isa's Homeboy, fun, psychedelic little thing. This one, nothing special. But this one is special because this is pretty crazy, because Yank III was an entire album, but this mad lad put Yank II, the official sequel to Yank 1, and it's official because I said so, and the other members had like hopped out, and he was actually one of the founding members, he just wasn't on Yank 1. So I said, yeah, it's official with Yank 2. And Yank 2 is crazy because it's like a meta-narrative on Yank 1. The storyline about this song is, it's about like a very sad boy, for reasons that you will hear if you listen to the songs, to the song, and he like makes it through all the suffering by listening to Yank 1, and it's just such a beautiful message. And as one of the creators of Yank 1, it's just like it's about how art can like help people and stuff. So Yank 2, and I mean there is irony here, of course. No one has been like actually helped by Yank 1. It's a hurtful album in ways, it has offensive lyrics, but you know, I like at least the idea of art helping this poor boy in this song. And also, without this track there wouldn't be a Yank III, which we'll get to. So yeah, overall great stuff. So on here we have like 1, 2, 3, I'd say 3 great tracks and 1 track which is important to like the overall thing here. Like, it's not good in itself, but the impact it has is important. So yeah, this collection of songs, it's flawed for sure. It's a mixed bag, but it has very good stuff. Like I said, Stabbed in the Back is fantastic. Yank 2 is interesting. So I like this. I like all these. They're all flawed, but they, on the C tier I'm talking about now, but they have some great stuff that really, you know, make them enjoyable to listen to. But next up, we're going to my album Gaze, and Gaze is like the most serious thing I had done up until that point, without a doubt. It took several months to make. It's 36 minutes long, 7 tracks, so that means there's one really long track here, which is Glass Shelf Unit on Wheels, 14 minutes, and the last track is 10 minutes. But overall, this is like really good. I mean, I made it, so this sounds bad, but I really think I did a great job with this. Open air cafe, very nice calming intro track. Glass Shelf Unit on Wheels, we'll get back to that afterwards because I have a lot to say on this. Heartbeats of a dying dinosaur, really nice relaxing track again, same goes for Lullaby. Crossen Apa 2, Pissa i hörnet, is Crush a Monkey Part 2, Pissed in the Corner. Really catchy overall, you know, pretty fun. Only track on here that I have vocals on, actually. 20-second interlude is just an interlude. And then Restoration of Sensation is like a great build-up of 10 minutes, just, you know, louder and louder, like crunching guitars and really, you know, hypnotic in a way. So the no doubt biggest problem about this album is Glass Shelf Unit on Wheels. It's 14 minutes long, and the first 7 minutes are like very boring. I mean, I'd say like it's interesting enough for a few minutes, like 3 minutes, but then the rest of it, of the first half, is just very boring, nothing much happens, not very interesting. The second half does some really fun stuff, you know, it gets really catchy, really fun ideas, so I'm happy about that. But there is like 7 full minutes on this album, which is more than a sixth, which I don't really like. And that's the real main problem here. Also, it's sloppily put together in ways, because Restoration of Sensation has parts where you can hear the piano clipping. Heartbeats thing, it sounds nice, but I put it together really fast, so it's kind of lazy. But overall, you know, this is... when I made this, it was the best thing I had made, and I'm very happy about this, and I think you should all listen to this. It's also on this YouTube channel, check out. Don't listen to this on SoundCloud, because it's supposed to be like seamless, and SoundCloud doesn't allow seamless playback, and also has ads, so avoid. Overall though, I praise this very much, but I'll put it at the top of A tier. Third number, I'm thinking maybe I should put it on... Yeah, I'm gonna put third number on B tier, because I like it a lot, there's lots of great stuff here, but it's not as good as or fun as these two. And these two are like actually really good, just like third number, so yeah, that's fair. Okay, now on to the sequel to Gaze, which is wait up, Haze, which we can find on my YouTube channel. It's the here. So Haze is the best thing I've done. It's only been out for like 6 weeks, I guess, but little more maybe. Who cares? Anyways, I'm really happy with how this turned out. So the intro, I kind of regret putting it in. It doesn't add much, but it's fine. It's just 20 seconds. Reflection, really catchy track. I really like this one. Echo, it's just like kinda relaxing, so not great, but it has a good vibe going. Encounter with a Trumpeter, really nice, really catchy, interesting, aggressive. Refreshing Gust of Wind, it's refreshing, it's relaxing. I really like how this sounds too, and also it transitions really nicely to Phrases, Faces, Hazes, Gazes, which has like loud guitar, beatboxing, fun sounds. It also is the only track on here with my vocals on, and my vocals here, they're cringe, you know, they're nothing to be proud of, but I have like put extreme distortion on them and like put them deeply in the mix, so it's like a part of the music you can't hear too clearly. Before the Haze, wait a minute. All right, yeah. So that's just like a transition track between phrases, faces, Haze, cases, and Haze. And Haze is like it's like actually epic. It's like a 16-minute track, and you know that sounds pretentious and stuff, but I'm actually really happy with it. Especially the first 9 minutes, which are like really good atmospheric build up. The last 7 minutes are like a pretty standard like ballad thing, but overall, you know, it's not bad. It's just a little generic, but it has like several layers of like orchestral, like MIDI, of course, but instrumentation, like several layers, and I think it's the most complex thing I've written, and overall, it's like I'm impressed by myself for making it. I'm praising this one a lot. I know I made it, but maybe that's also why I love it. You know, I wouldn't have been. I try to create things that I'm gonna be proud of, you know, and my goal with each album is to be better than the last, and so far I think I've succeeded every single time. I think for the next thing I do, I won't be able to top this. There's just not much wrong with this. Ending track, Haze Lift's also really nice finale, really relaxing. So yeah, I'm praising this a lot, but that's because I just think I did a really good job, and you know, I'm praising it a lot. I know, but I'm very happy with it, and I'm not gonna lie. This is fucking S tier, you know. This is, yeah, it's. I can't lie to myself. I like what I made here a lot, and I hope one day to top it. But I think I'm not gonna release an album like as quickly as I did between Gaze and Haze, which was just a few months, because I'm gonna need time, because it took a lot of energy, and I don't have enough ideas, and I don't want to force something, and I'm not gonna be able to top it, so I'm gonna wait until there are like not many expectations left. So yeah, you know, if I just stopped making music now, I think this one is good enough for me to like be happy and not have to make more. I'm gonna make more in the future for sure, but yeah, I'm just really happy with this. You can't take that away from me. Finally, Yank III, sequel to Yank 1 and Yank 2 on Sicut Canis. Oh no, we don't mean to do that. No, oh, I have to hold it now. So Yank III is really, really good. It's made by Bob. Well, I guess you could consider it a Jengas album if you want, because it's Yank III, but for now it's considered a Bob album. So it's both a sequel to Great Elephant Slaya and to Yank 1. I mean Yank 2 as well, but Yank 1 is like a real album. So this is the third album to be about like the Fallen stuff. The first was this one, Elephant Slaya, and then Death of Two Legends, and then Yank 1. So I can't have it floating on for too long, so I'm just gonna be completely honest here. Another S tier. So I'm just gonna go find it somewhere. Yeah, I've reposted it here. So 31-minute album, 9 tracks. A lot of growing as an artist here between this one and this one. It's hard to compare to sequel to Yank 1 because it's really different. But this was made in just like a month, I think. So for what it is, I'm really impressed. I hope that Mr. Bob here, I know you're watching, continue making stuff like this, because this is really good. It's not flawless. I'll tell you the flaws. Intro track, which is 3 minutes long, is not good. It's just like trumpet sounds. It doesn't go anywhere. I'm sorry, but it's not very good. Oh Great Elephant, extremely, you know, another, just like on the Sicut Canis thing, a track with too low volume, so you can't like actually like hear what he sings, and it's like an actual problem. But I asked him about it, and he said it's like a reference to the Sicut Canis thing, with one track having too low of a volume. And even if that was a thing he made up on the spot for fun, I mean, it's kind of fun, you know. It's fun that two things he has made has tracks with too low volume. And if it was intentional, that's even better. So, that's fine. Also, finally, Foron Mon Amour is not bad. It's like actually a very good track. Okay, not very good. It's a pretty good track. It's a pretty good track. But it comes after Yank for Me, which is more than just pretty good. So let's go through this. Underneath the Shell is a track about when me and Bob in elementary school, we like tortured children by putting them under like a turtle shell thing, like not actually a turtle shell, but a red thing you could spin around in that you could put upside down to catch people. And we would like catch children, keep them in there, and ask them questions, get them better at math. You know, we were trying to help them. So we would ask, what's 1 + 1? And the kid inside, he would say 11, because you know he thought 1 1 11, and you know he was like actually 3 years old, and he like managed to put that together, so he was kind of genius. And we were like, well, 1 + 1 isn't 11, so you're wrong. You can't come out. So then we like thought, what if we ask it like this? What is 1 and 1? Because now we had taught him that it was 2 when it was 1 + 1. He said 2, and then we said no, 1 and 1, because we didn't say plus. You get it? And we were, it's 11. So we would just like do stuff like that and keep them locked until they had to go into the next lesson. And this makes it sound a lot worse than it actually was. It makes it sound like actual torture and abuse. I would say it was like light bullying, like not actually bullying either, because they thought it was a game. So like it was mean-spirited in nature, but they didn't suffer too much. Okay, I'm just making it sound worse, okay? We were mean. It was not a nice thing to do, okay? But, you know, I know for a fact that the children are not traumatized by this. We stopped doing this pretty quickly, and we're nice to them after that. They're fine. They're alive. Neither me nor Bob are bullies, and we haven't been other than that case. And it was also like technically not bullying because they thought they were playing a game. Yeah, I mean, I'm having a bad conscience about it here, but think what you want, okay? If you think we are crazy murderers or psychopaths, that's fine, that's fine. But as a fun track, I went on a tangent here. As a track about this, it's very funny because, you know, it's like actually relatable. Like, oh yeah, remember back in small school when we tortured children? And you know, of course that's fun. It's also really catchy. It has a great chorus like underneath the shell is where we catch them, don't let them out, something. I don't know the lyrics, but it's really catchy, which goes for the entire album. All these have like great choruses, memorable tracks, and re-listening to them really makes them just better. So Hilarious Flipping, another really catchy track, also about stuff. So Hilarious Flipping is the title of a video I have made, which is like wait, I'm gonna just find it. So there's this game, Hilarious Drive Ahead, which is really fun game, and I made this video Hilarious Flipping, which had some, you know, hilarious flipping as you see, and the Drive Ahead official channel actually had a thing weekly where they uploaded fun clips, and this was actually uploaded, so I really thought that was cool. Anyways, Drive Ahead, really good mobile game, you know, just fun. You can play it multiplayer or alone, and it's just a great time. So he sings about, you know, playing Drive Ahead on the school iPad, and the song is also catchy. It has a nice guitar, so great track. One Nation Under Bob, almost entirely instrumental, really has a nice relaxing vibe going on for it, which goes for the entire thing. It's kind of minimalistic. It has a great guitar tone, a lot of reverb, so it's like pretty dreamlike. Oh Great Elephant, like I said, too low volume is a problem, you know. After State of Mind, like actual 10 out of 10 song. So this is another track relating to me. Actually, like 4 tracks on here are kinda about me, and you know, of course it's flattering and I guess pandering to me, but you know, for me that's very fun and, you know, relatable. So this one is about when a girlfriend I had in like 6th grade, she she broke up with me on Google Plus, and I was so angry. I was so mad. So I I visited Bob the day after at his home, and I like I was like jumping on the trampoline studsmatta, you know, and like I was screaming like, "Oh, fucking whore! Oh, she betrayed me! I hate women!" And you know, after that incident, for like several years, I was like actual misogynist incel, and it was crazy. And you know, I've always made jokes about it, but like at least for a short while there, I was like actually like full on incel. I hated women. It was crazy. But his things about what happened after the trampoline thing, which is I went into his house and I started smashing his fucking furniture with one of his like Xbox controllers, and his mom was like, "What the fuck is wrong with Felix? He's smashing the house." It's fucking crazy. And then the track gets even better because it goes past that point. It goes on to what he speculates happened the same day when I came home, which is I took Alexander and like smashed his head against the furniture, and it makes me sound completely deranged, but it's really funny and also really catchy track. It's certified banger. This is along with Yank for me best track on the album. Like actually very good. Fun Times in Pia House. It's I'm not sure what the lyrics are actually about, but he like sings about, you know, very tragic. I think it's like ironic, but the thing is, on like Great Elephant Slayer, the execution wasn't very serious, and it just made for a, you know, it's hard to take seriously. This has joke stuff in it, but the execution is mostly like serious, and the music is actually really good. So this one, it has like a really heavy weird vibe going on, and it's just like actually like kind of distressing to listen to. And yeah, it's really good actually, and it has like a great like the guitar progression, like the way he uses the chords and the riffs and stuff, and it's just like it's, you know, it's not bland like Great Elephant Slayer. It's a lot of power chords. It's a lot of power chords and some good riffs, but this has like actual interesting composition. I think this track has like changing time signatures, like, you know, he cuts it off and puts a half a bar after and stuff, and it's, I don't know like if that's how he did it, but you know, that's what's going on at least. So um interesting to listen to for sure. And it also has like, wait, I have to listen to it. I don't think you will hear this, but okay, no, that's wrong. So As the State of Mind also has a really nice outro, which is like sounds uplifting in a weird way. But Fun Times in Pia House has an outro where he like uses a sample from with me speaking in like 4th grade about Gustav Vasa, old king of Sweden, and how I'm crushing his cranium. And it's a classic little clip if you know me personally, and it's a fun use of the sample, and it doesn't just use it, you know, he puts vocal effects on it, he like changes the pitch and stuff, and for the entirety of Fun Times in Pia House, he has like really interesting vocal effect on himself, which is, it just sounds great, you know. Yank for me too sounds great. It's like epic finale, like actually like it's like actually kind of beautiful track, which is weird for this kind of, you know, not very serious album. It sounds really nice. It also has a nice like looping little outro thing with sampling himself. For Mon Amour, not fantastic, but it's good enough. It is a good track. It's fine enough as an outro. It's just that Yank for me is better. That's all. Yeah, I should also mention like I think Hilarious Flipping is like inspired by the Flaming Lips, more specifically the album Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots, and if I remember correctly, he actually doesn't like that album as much as some of their others, but at least it sounds like it's inspired by the Flaming Lips, and I really like that Pink Robot album, and this track reminds me of that, so that's great. So yeah, I've already placed it. It's S tier. So, you know, overall here, I think we've done some great stuff. Auron, I'm sorry for putting your stuff on like F and C, but you know, they're your first two things, and if you look at me and Bob, our first things respectively are on D, and I have one on C, similar for him, and one on, you know, so you get better the more you make. And if you are on, if you're watching this, make more music, okay? You get better. It gets more interesting. And actually, Auron has made other music with a band called Tough Customers, and I'm not gonna speak too much on that, but the reason it's not on here is because he has made it with other friends that I don't know, and I don't want to critique their work, you know. But you know, Auron, he wrote like some certified bangers on Yank 1. Yank 1 is really a group effort, and he made the album art for Yank III, Yank 1, and Death of Two Legends. And Alexander here, he has just made one album, and it's really good, so I wish he would make more, but he doesn't seem interested, so that's sad. But you know, me and Bob, both of us have reached really high levels here, and if we just keep going, great stuff's gonna come out of it. And everyone is watching, you wanna try making an album, you know, do it. It's gonna be shit, you know, it's gonna be like the first number, or autistic dance music, or, you know, actually illegal, like Cumrain. But it's worth it, okay? It's fun. So try it out if you want to. Yeah, I think that's about all. The placement seems about right. Like, you know, all of this could probably like go one step in some direction. Like, you know, maybe I could put this higher, or this, or maybe I could put this lower, or, you know, it's not like set in stone, but somewhere along these lines I would put them. So yeah, for my friends who have made some of these musics, you know, hope you are happy with where I placed them, and could find some value in it. For other people, if you haven't listened to these albums, I'd recommend listening to all of them. You know, the Auron tracks aren't available, and these two aren't good, but you know, everything in B tier and above, like, you should listen to. Like, listen to Yank 1, listen to Death of Two Legends by my brother, it's really good. I'm gonna link all albums that are currently available in the description, so check them out. So yeah, no Cumrain, no Wankers philosophy, but that's Auron's choice if he doesn't want them spread. So yeah, that's all for me. I think this was a really long video, but goodbye.